for people to join, get the notification, see if anyone actually joins, and they're like, why on earth is he wearing such a massive jumper? There we go, that's a bit better. Where did that come from? Was that my phone? That's just my phone. It's just saying, hey, Daniel, you're live. Yeah, just wait for people to hopefully join. God, it's so funny just like staring at myself. That's fluff. It's a shame I can't actually play music because then that'd be even better. But set the scene. I think it notifies people. Let me just refresh that. Is that? Yes. Chill stream. There we go. Nice. Welcome, Andrew. Moby. Do you mean the singer? I suppose, yeah, now that I've shaved my head. The one that I've had the most is people have said that I look like James McAvoy when he was doing the movie Split, when he like shaved his head for that. So and how are you, Andrew? I hope things are going good your end. I thought I'd do a very late evening stream, just keeping it very, very simple and easy. Just seeing how everyone is. Yeah, Split, nice. Yeah, it was a good movie. Actually, it's crazy to think how old that movie is now because it came out a good few years ago. I think, in fact, even before 2020, actually, I dare say. British, yeah, of course. That's if the accent does not give it away. Oh wow, we got 15 people just like suddenly joined, just like that. Oh, fantastic. Can't complain at that. Yeah, you can hear the accent. Yeah, that's the only thing where I'm from, and not to judge me on it, but where I'm from originally is Essex, and it's exactly where The Only Way Is Essex was filmed. Now I know that was filmed. Hopefully you haven't heard of that show, but it was filmed in a few different areas. You've got uh, Brent Brentwood, I think it is. You've got Gants Hill, you've got Loughton, Chigwell, Buckhurst Hill, and originally where I'm from is Chigwell. Belarus. Oh, nice. So you've got definitely a way more interesting accent than me, my friend. And to the other 16 people who have joined the stream, welcome. By all means, feel free to say hello. I promise I do not bite, but it would be cool to just have a chat with you guys for probably like the next hour or so. Nothing crazy. If anything, I had a really cool request from someone asking if my Black Friday offer was happening, and of course it is. That's why I put the thumbnail as something as unique as possible. How are you doing, Sakar? Good to have you on the stream. I hope you're having a good evening. As you can tell, I'm actually in my pajamas. I after a long coaching day with my client, and then like trying to squeeze in some extra jobs of going to Costco, putting petrol in my car, and getting more batteries for my microphone equipment, so at least I can carry on listening to my client when he has his approaches over the week. Yeah, it has been a busy day, and I was like, right, I'm gonna have a shower. I'm gonna just put my pajamas on, and then bugger it. I'm gonna do my live stream. I am really good, my friend. Really good. It has been though, like I say, a really long day, and it's been quite a busy last. Well, things got quite hectic from last Friday. I've had coaching literally every day with guys, which has been really good fun, and everyone's had great results. I don't know if you saw a post that I put on, or put out, I should say, earlier today, but my client from Sunday, when we went out, I got him to approach about 12, 13 women. He got two phone numbers, and last night he had a date with one of those girls, and had a very special evening, as you can imagine, which was really cool. And then I shared on my posts on my channel what his message to me was about the evening, and I was just absolutely over the moon because he had a lot of social anxiety. He had a lot of limiting beliefs about himself, I would say, probably even more than the social anxiety, and it was just great to hear that he had a good time, and even if you see in the message, he put that I get because I gave him feedback, or I gave him some advice on building tension or building sexual tension, and I just essentially just simplified it for him. So yeah, I was so over the moon with the results that he got. But yeah, I've been coaching Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with three different guys, and then Monday just gone, I just started doing a 7 day coaching with a guy, and we've been going out every day for a good few hours. And as you can imagine, the time it takes for me to get into London, and then we do the coaching together, and then get home, and then if I've got other jobs and stuff, yeah, it all adds up after a while. But it has been great. I really can't complain. It has been just such a good few weeks, or last week. Let's see. Hey bro, what's up? So I'm gonna try and pronounce, Mikulaev. Mikulaev. Tell me if I've said that right or not. If I've said that horribly wrong, then I apologize. And Ari as well. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Glad that you've said hello and joined. Andrew, I've been having too much Hebrew English at work for the last several years. Well, it sounds like that's quite a challenge then. I mean, Hebrew is quite a language to learn as well. Some new people's connecting. Welcome, Cypher. Thank you so much for your message. In fact, it was because of you. You actually reminded me about doing the live stream, so I appreciate you asking about the Black Friday offer. Because I did say that I was going to put a post out, and then by the time I got home, got everything ready, went out, got batteries for the microphone equipment, came back, had dinner, and then showered. Managed to squeeze one episode in of Stranger Things season 5, and then went right. I need to get on a stream. So, so, so yeah, it's been a busy day. Definitely a busy day. Some new people's connecting. Yeah, it's great. I will subscribe, but I already liked. Oh, fantastic, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But yeah, I do. I hope everyone is doing good. I hope you're all enjoying. I suppose it's not really the festive break yet. I mean, we're kind of like building up to the holidays now. So perhaps maybe you're all having your final weeks at work. Maybe you're already on holiday, and and if you guys are already out cold approaching and speaking to people, then that's absolutely amazing. If anything, London has certainly been cold the last few days, but it was actually so nice that today was like 11, 12 degrees, and it's like a typical Brit, because I can see, Sakai, you're asking me where I'm from. Well, like a typical Londoner, we love talking about the weather. It is like second nature to us. It's like driving a car. We just absolutely love talking about the weather. But the weather, it was so much better today. It made doing cold approaching for my client, or with my client, just that little bit easier, rather than walking around and shivering in the cold. He was very comfortable going up to people, so I was just over the moon with that. Your sister lives in London. Oh, that is cool, my friend. Whereabouts in London does she live? Although maybe it's probably worth not sharing that sort of thing, just in case that sort of like counts as like doxing, or it turns out we both like live down the road from each other, and then she's like, oh, okay, all right, I'll come down and wave to you on camera. London. Well, London is a massive place. London is just such an enormous city, which again is why going out and practicing social skills with strangers is just so easy and so wonderful to do. There's a typical British joke about the weather, which I can't remember. Something about how many types of weather in London. Well, I mean, Andrew, I haven't got the foggiest idea. Actually, it reminds me of I used that joke or that line in school once. We were actually learning about clouds in like a geography class, and then the teacher was literally picking people, and I was just like in my own bubble, and then they literally pointed at me, and I just said, "I've got the foggiest idea," and I remember the whole class laughing, and I had no idea what anyone found funny. It literally went over my head that I didn't realize that I made a cloud joke. So yeah, there you go. You're welcome to use that if ever anyone asks you a question about clouds. Just say you haven't got the foggiest idea about it. So yeah, I'll leave that one to you. So but I'll update you guys on how my client's doing because we had day 4 today out of 7. I see loads of emojis. Honestly, I remember like everyone was just laughing about that as well. But uh, today was day 4 with my client, and in my posts on my channel, I did actually share what I did with my client on day 1 and 2, and I've not got round to sharing what we did on day 3 because I had an earlier start today going into London before seeing him. And on Monday we did 4 hours of filming together, so we kind of like went out and I filmed him doing approaches, and I also coached him a little bit on how to approach as well. He's a complete blank canvas. He's 46 years old. He comes from up north. And it was just it was just a complete clean slate with working with, and bless him, his anxiety really high, very nervous with speaking to people, but as the 4 days have gone on, definitely give you guys the clue, he's been doing really well progressing. But Monday I filmed him, and he did. I think it was. But let's see. He did 3 approaches at some of the Christmas stalls, which was great because I got him to just practice asking people questions. And then after that, I'm sure it was about seven approaches of just asking people for directions on the street. So yeah, so in total, day 1 he did about 10 approaches, which was brilliant considering that he'd never done it before. What have we got here? Okay, a joke. Two guys meet in London. How much watch? Two watch Belarus foreign school. Yes. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but well done. You got me laughing there, Andrew. That's although you should know. I mean, I'm just incredibly susceptible to anything really. I mean, hell, I don't know if you guys have heard of Darren Brown. That was why like I got picked for a placebo experiment back in 2012. I'm just so susceptible to everything. Yeah, I'd like to think it is more chill. In fact, when I did my live stream, I think it was like a week or two ago now. Yeah, it must have been about like a week or two ago, definitely. I did a live stream talking about like the anniversary of a friend of mine who'd passed away. So if you, I don't know how much of like the dating industry or the pickup community that you know, but there was a coach who was a friend of mine. He was a client of mine as well. A guy called Johnny Berber or Johnny O'Halloran, and unfortunately he'd taken his life a year ago, and it was just crazy to think like a year had already gone by since he passed. And I did essentially this is a chill stream. Although I had my DSLR camera set up, so it was a much better setup. And to my amazement, we did 3.5 hours of just literally just chilling, and it was really really cool, just laid back. I thoroughly enjoyed just like talking to guys. That time just disappeared like crazy. So do I know Evil Larry? No, unfortunately I don't. I can't say I do. Or is that meant to be Evil Larry? That is a cool emoji. I need to figure out how to do some of these emojis as well. Yeah, night, Andrew. I kind of figure it is quite late over in Belarus, so yeah, I appreciate you jumping into the stream and just joining in for a little bit. But have a good evening, though, my friend. Hopefully, I'll see you in another stream as well. But right, I'll go back to my story. So Monday, 4 hours of filming. He did 10 approaches, went really really well. And then my homework that evening was to watch through the footage and write down notes. And then on the Tuesday, me and my client, we went into a coffee shop, or we met up and we went to a coffee shop, brought my laptop with, and we sat together and we watched all of his approaches. And on top of actually what we did, I'd also filmed him. I have an exercise which I call the free flow exercise, and I recommend anyone to do it. But basically, I set the camera up and I get the client to talk for 5 minutes straight directly to the camera. And I say, it doesn't matter what you talk about. You can talk about how you're feeling, what your favorite color is, what you had for breakfast, and so on, whatever it is. But the idea is just to talk for 5 minutes straight. And what have you got? Because I can see loads of emojis have appeared. Evil Larry is a theory like Black Evil Cat. I feel like there's another story there with the Black Evil Cat. So yeah, you might have to elaborate with that whilst I'm jumping back and forth with my storytelling too. But so this exercise, it's really really useful for guys to do, because what I find is it warms your brain up to public speaking or to speaking to strangers. Just kind of gets those cylinders firing because you're speaking from a place of experience, I suppose. Like, you're just speaking, you're not actively trying to think like, what am I going to say next and stuff. And I see it with everyone who does that exercise, that they literally start off being like, so yeah, and then I'm in London, and it's going to be a cool experience, and they're looking all over the place and their body language is off and stuff. And then towards like the end of the exercise, they start. What's this? And freaking James is his brother. Yeah, I don't know that one. I definitely don't know that one. Um, but those are some cool emojis. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to add them. I mean, maybe it's easier when I'm not the one streaming and it's someone else probably streaming. I assume. I don't know. So I got him to do this exercise anyway, and we watched his footage together, and it's great because he gets to see his bad habits and the mannerisms that he's got. And I find that, like, for anyone who goes to a coach, it's one thing when like a coach tells you like the things that you need to change, but it really sinks in more when you see yourself on camera, and then you're like, I don't like that. I need to change that. Oh, this is awful. I can't believe that's what I look like. And I see it with everyone. Like, everyone is like mortified to see their own footage, but it is just so good. It's why, like, all the dating coaches that I film with, that they have progressed so well and so fast in the time that I film them, because they watch themselves back and they learn from that so much more, because they're just very self-critical and they're quite harsh on themselves as well. But because of that, they make the biggest changes. So we did that on Tuesday. So there was no approaches on Tuesday. Tuesday, I kind of let everyone off. Then Wednesday, so yesterday, that was when the real fun started with approaching. And it was essentially kind of similar to Monday, but I wanted to just now get him to try and do things on his own. So we started off meeting in London Bridge, and I took him to Borough Market. And for anyone that has ever been to Borough Market, there is a huge variety of stalls to go to and to buy food and stuff from. And I basically got him to go up to a lot of the stalls and just ask general questions about like the products, and and maybe even find out a little bit more from the people who are actually working at the stalls. And he was a little bit nervous, and and he was sort of shy, and there was somewhere I went in with him to do the approaches, and yeah, we worked through it, and he felt warmed up. Bye. I need to go now. I'll come on your next live stream next time. Amazing, Ari. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you for the emojis as well. Slightly distracting, but I like it. It came from a good place, and I'm still going to figure out how to add the emojis myself as well. But no, have a good evening though, my friend. Whilst I carry on telling people the story, and you can always jump back in to hear more of what I share with people, and the Black Friday offer as well that I'm doing. Would love to hear about your outer game structure, especially how your perspective has changed about it over the years. I think just for the clarity, let me know what you mean by um, outer game structure. Just for the clarity of it, because everyone's got their own lingo. It's very easy for everyone to have their own lingo in like the pickup and dating industry. So yeah, just give me the clarity on that. I'm quite happy then to give you an answer for it. Not a live stream, a live stream. If it was Final Fantasy VII, I would 100% agree with you, Sakar. 100% agree. Although speaking of Final Fantasy VII, I'm really hoping they put a trailer out during the Game Awards in I think like a week's time when that's on. But that's a digression though. That's something completely different. Otherwise, we'll be talking about computer games and PlayStation for like the rest of this. But anyway, on Wednesday, we went out to Borough Market, did some approaching there, and then we walked across South Bank and then came to Central. And during that time, he approached again another sort of like 10 to 12 people, which was really good. And during that, I just got him. I wanted him, and he really impressed me here. So I was so proud of him. But I wanted him just to go up to people and ask for directions, and he very quickly just started doing it on his own. I did not have to push him into any approaches. And then towards the end of the session, suddenly he's going up to people and then giving them a compliment. And I was like, okay, well, there was me like playing it safe with you, thinking like I didn't need to push you with approaches. And now you're doing it. And that was literally after the days of feedback, and off he went. So I was so pleased. And I said to him, right, okay, for today, so for Thursday, I was like, right, but I'm going to push you properly, because now that you've proven to me you've actually gone faster than I was expecting. I'm definitely going to push you into more approaches. So today, he did about 15 approaches, which was brilliant. Yep, I am from London. I live just on the outskirts of London, or North London anyway. But yeah, I am from London. And he did about 15 approaches today, which was amazing. And he pretty much for the majority of them, he did it on his own. I didn't need to tell him. The first couple, I did push him into the approaches, and I got him just to give compliments, just to start off with compliments. And of course, he was already starting to then have conversations with people, which is great because you just gradually get momentum with this. And when you feel comfortable giving compliments, you suddenly naturally just start asking people questions. Do you Polish? Polish? I don't know what that is. So he did his approaches, and then he was naturally asking people questions and having conversations. But the compliments that he was giving, like the women's faces, they were just so happy. Like the smiles, they were just gleaming. And he would be coming back and he'd be like so shocked. He was like, I thought it wasn't going to go well. And I thought they were going to reject me. And yeah, he just absolutely loved it. He did. It was just so mind blowing for him that he was able to give people a compliment and they reacted in a positive way. Like he didn't think that they were going to give him the time of day. So I was just so appreciative that he got a lot out of it. It was great. And yeah, yeah, that was essentially today. And then towards the end of the session, he also did. He approached two women at the same time, just to give them a compliment, and he was so nervous with that, but he did it. And I said to him, like, it's no speaking to two people is not really any different to speaking to one person. And yeah, he did it, and and he walked away with a big smile on his face with just how happy he was. So yeah, so I was really, really pleased with how the coaching went today, and it just shows like how if you dedicate some time to trying to face your social anxiety, that you can overcome it. And yeah, yeah, it was great. It was great. So so tomorrow we're gonna go out again, and I'm gonna kick out. Okay, you can do a kickflip first. I will let you do a kickflip first. And yeah, tomorrow we're going to probably do the same thing. We're going to go out. I'm sort of training him to approach people on his own, because ultimately, at the end of the day, I want people to be able to have that confidence that if they want to speak to a stranger, that they can go off and do it. So tomorrow it's going to be pushing him just to go on his own. The fact that again he can give people compliments, he can have a conversation. It's going to be just probably working a little bit more on the conversation side of things. I want him to practice speaking more, actively listening, so he can um, not just ask questions, but he can then try and find out more in the information that he's getting. So, like, if a girl says that, or if a lady says that, she's from Spain, then he can ask, like, well, why? What brings you to London? Why did you come over from Spain? Brian, good morning. Take care. I'll come on your next live stream. Yeah, no, I appreciate you jumping in, Sakar. Thank you very much for spending that wow, half an hour already with me. So definitely I will speak to you soon, or enjoy jumping onto the next live stream. And yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it is, I think, Thanksgiving as well. Not that we really celebrate that here in the UK, but yeah, I'm sure people out in America definitely are. Um, and what else? So yeah, so that was essentially what I've done with him over this week. So as you can imagine, it has been a really, really busy week with everything. And as promised as well, I said that I was gonna talk about my Black Friday offer. uh, Thank you very much, Sakai. Honestly, I really, really appreciate it. And I always like getting new subscribers because it means as well, like I can reach more people, I can support more people with their social anxiety. So yeah, it really does make a difference for me. So thank you very much, and do have a good evening as well, my friend. Um, but okay, so the Black Friday offer. So for the next week, I will. Well, actually, first of all, I'll suggest I'll tell people what the new service is first before I go into the Black Friday offer. So I, in memory of Johnny, because I remember when I worked with Johnny, Johnny had an incredibly useful program with guys, and I actually did his program twice all those years ago, when I had the pleasure of working with him, and it was just so impactful to help me like create a routine with approaching, back then at least, and definitely for many other guys as well. And this was something that a lot of people requested because they just couldn't quite commit to doing like my 7-day coaching thing. So The new service that I'm offering, and definitely in memory of Johnny, is a 6 week transformation. So every single week, I will be taking a guy out for 2 hours of coaching in central London and doing that consistently for 6 weeks. So it means that if you're someone who struggles with getting a routine, with going out to practice your social skills, then it is going to be something for you. If perhaps maybe you struggle to go out with other people and you need just some support, you need like a wing or something with you, then this service will definitely be for you. And if you're just also looking to get extra feedback, then absolutely it's going to be something that will really, really make a difference. I've been very fortunate that I have worked in the dating and pickup industry for the last 16, nearly 17 years. It'll be 17 years in April that I've worked behind the scenes. I've worked with about 80 plus different dating coaches. I've helped them on their businesses, and I've also helped a lot of their clients as well, as I brought more stuff from the self-development scene into the dating industry to genuinely help people to overcome their anxiety so that they can speak to more strangers. And of course, on the dating side of things, if you see someone you like, then you can go and kind of talk to them as well. So the 6 week transformation program is the new service. It would be priced at £1,200. I will eventually put this information on my website, and I'm going to put posts out on my channel as well this week. So at least then you guys can see it. Because of just how the algorithm works on YouTube, you might notice that I am sort of pumping that information out somewhat regularly. And I don't mean to be spamming people, but it's just unfortunately because of how many people are following me, and they're obviously following other YouTubers as well. It is kind of a bit difficult to for everyone to kind of like see the stuff. So, Kit Kats, I'm gonna just tell you now, I am just ignoring you because you're putting silly stuff. But I want you to understand though that you're not wasting my time. I'm wasting your time because you could be doing anything else, and and you're watching me. So you can carry on watching me, but I will be just ignoring your messages, my friend, because it's a little bit distracting. So I'm just sort of telling you now. So that's going to be the 6 week program. It's going to be priced at £1,200. Like I say, I'm going to pump out promoting it. But yeah, I apologize if it looks like I'm spamming my sort of posts with yeah, I appreciate that, my friend. I know you're probably being like silly, but I genuinely I'm trying to I do want to help people. It's why I'm here. It's why I've kind of got the channel going. Hence the title of the video. So you're welcome to stay, my friend. But otherwise, yeah, do have a really good evening. Okay. But as for the actual Black Friday offer, as I'll come back to the point. As for the Black Friday offer for this next week, my 7 day coaching and the 6 week transformation, I will be pricing at £1,000. So for the 7 day coaching, that's nearly half price, and that's about what 20% off for the 6 week transformation, doing 2 hours a week with that. Or if you want to do what my client this week is doing, which was the filming and feedback Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday to Sunday is the cold approach coaching, going out and speaking to people. Then yeah, that is going to be a fantastic service for you to take up. And if you take up the coaching, or if you reach out to me for a consultation and you pay the deposit, then you can basically have that price and use up or claim that coaching at any time throughout the year. So I can't do any better than that. You're essentially then, like, if you were to use it during the summer, paying £1,000 for like the 7 day coaching in the summer, Usually my price during the summer is £1,800. So like I say, you're near enough getting like half price with that. So it's there. I will promote it out, like I say. But I'd like to think, if you are someone who is looking to work on your social anxiety and you want to put yourself out there with meeting people, for socializing, for dating, for networking, and you need that little jump start to get going, then I'd like to think that I've made this coaching incredibly affordable for people. Any offer in the 12-week online coaching. I will probably say no for the 12-week because the life coaching, the way and how I've got that priced is that guys can then message me and WhatsApp me like 24/7 or near enough 24/7 as long as I'm not like on the toilet, in the shower, coaching with someone or asleep. But because of that, I can't. I'd be like literally giving it away for just too little. So with that, that's already value for money. But for the 7-day coaching and for the 6-week transformation, for the guys who, they can't put the time aside or dedicate time aside to do 7 days, but they can do 2 hours a week every week consistently, then yeah, those are the ones that definitely I'll be putting that discounted price from because I'm fully booked with coaching for the rest of this year, and I would really love to, well, any person who's self-employed will say this, but I mean, I would really love to be really busy next year. I thoroughly enjoy helping people and working with people. So far, majority of my clients who have worked with me, they've had dates, or they've definitely got phone numbers. At least they've had dates. Maybe they've kind of misbehaved as well, just to keep it the words PG online through YouTube. But I'm really good at what I do, and I would rather help people who need the help, and give them the opportunity, especially if people are on a budget. I can kind of respect that as well. So yeah, if you're interested in having cold approach coaching, you also want to have yourself filmed, you want to see what you look like, so that gives you an even better chance of success of making changes. Definitely check out the 7-day coaching. And if you want to create a routine with approaching, or you need a wing, you need feedback on how your skills are, then the new 6-week transformation, or the 6-week coaching where we do 2 hours a week, it could be the thing for you as well. So yeah, that is pretty much everything for the Black Friday offer. So I've definitely given, I think, what would be the best services, really, really good price. By the way, I'm from India. Oh wow. Okay, so it must be like early hours in the morning then for you if you're out in India. And you're a very honest and great person I'll ever meet in my life. Good luck on your 6 weeks transformation journey. No, I appreciate that. Although it's my service that I want to give to people. So if anyone is interested in doing a 6-week transformation, 2 hours of cold approach coaching, we've got the hiccups now, every single week, then absolutely, I would love to be able to help you. Could you coach me? Kit Kat, I'm surprised you're still watching, to be quite honest. But you're gonna have to be a decent person if you want to do something like that, my friend. Not everyone's gonna just jump or give you the opportunity to jump into their pants, which is a bit of a weird statement to make, to be quite honest. But is there anything else that I can think of? No, I think I'll probably give the floor to you guys, actually. Um, okay, let's just do that. There we go. Now that feels better. He's like, oh no, he's been kicked out. But yeah, I'm not going to tolerate weirdness from people if he's just messing around. But no, hopefully those coaching offers sound really good to you guys. And yeah, and if you're interested, I'm essentially going to have these offers, or the discounted offers, available for the next 7 days. So if you want them, All you have to do is book a consultation with me, and then just on the phone call, just say that that you heard of my Black Friday offer and you would love to take it up. And of course, I want to get to know you. I want to make sure that we are right in working together. I try and teach people to be as authentic and honest as possible. I like the idea of like what you see is what you get. So when you are meeting people, you are building connections with people through just being yourself and being a more self-actualized version of yourself. I don't like lines. I don't like routines. As much as that might be a crutch for people, people get too reliant, or guys get too reliant on that stuff, and they don't learn how to have a conversation with strangers. And because of that, they get stuck, they get put off of doing more cold approaching, and then they don't get any results. So I want to teach you how to be yourself from the start, teach you how to have good conversations and fun conversations with people, and just show people that even with a bit of vulnerability, bit of sincerity as well, just being honest that you're nervous or shy or that you've run out of things to say, you will be surprised at how many amazing women are out there that will want to date you or want to connect with you or be friends with you, whatever it is. So yeah, I leave the floor to you guys. Like if you've got any questions, I know a few people have just sort of like left out. I think though it might be because I did click I think the monetization button, which I'm going to try and avoid doing in future. I think because it causes to the viewership to have a lot, and then it just literally just drops like crazy, and then everyone comes back again. So I might for these kind of live streams I might try and avoid that. But no, I'm so looking forward to the new year and being able to work with you guys. And yeah, if you are interested in coaching and at a much more affordable price, then you have a week to claim those offers. So for people just jumping in now, I have introduced a new service called my 6 week transformation program, inspired by my time from working with Johnny, an amazing coach, huge inspiration. God bless you. Good morning. Hope your day's going well. Bye. I'll come your stream. Yeah, amazing. Thank you very much for joining, Sakar, and enjoy your evening or morning. And yeah, and definitely I will catch you soon as well, my friend. But no, if you are interested in those coaching services, whether it be the 6 week transformation, which would be normally priced at £1,200, doing 2 hours a week of cold approach coaching in central London. But if you want it discounted to £1,000 instead, then definitely reach out over the next 7 days. And for my 7 day transformation as well, if you're interested in that, then that would normally be priced up to about £1,800, and I'm also doing that for £1,000 for a week coaching. And what's great with these offers is that if you do pay a deposit over the next week and you book a consultation with me, then you can use that whenever you want over the next year, whenever you want. So as long as you book that weekend, you pay the deposit, you pay the rest, and then that week is yours. You can have what would be an £1,800 coaching service for £1,000 for a week. And so far, everyone has had great experiences from it. By all means, have a look even at the transformation stuff that I've got on my channel, because I've got interviews with some of my clients who are very kind to share their experiences working with me. I've certainly got more, but a lot of people I can absolutely respect. This is a very private matter for them. They don't really want to publicize them working on their social skills, especially in the dating field. So I admire what they do, and I definitely will respect their the wishes of not putting testimonials online. But I've got a few, so you can check them out and have a look. But yeah, that is pretty much my services. So, Cypher, curious about your thoughts on direct versus indirect approach. I think both are really good. I think it's more situational. And also depending on how you are warming up. So when I'm working with my clients, I would definitely say, like, for the guys who have a lot of social anxiety, being able to just start off with, let's say, asking for directions can be just a really kind of great indirect way to start a conversation. And then as they get more practice in, definitely I want them to be able to go up to people and just give a direct compliment. But also, there's the situations where they might ask for directions, and then start a conversation. And then during that, they'll say, you know what, I also just had to say, like, I thought you were really cute. And I wanted to say hi. Or being cheeky. Actually, I kind of knew where that train station was. I just genuinely thought you were quite cute. It's really just about being genuine with it. And sometimes, you have to look at a situation and sort of wonder, like, is it appropriate to go directly straight away? Or do I need to be a little bit more indirect? Like, for example, let's say you saw someone who was working, then yes, you could go straight up to them and say, look, excuse me, I think you're really cute. But also you don't know how they might react to that. So sometimes playing it a little bit safer can be better. But it's very, very situational, because even the examples that I've given there might be applicable to some situations, and then you might have others that are similar, that actually you would do a very different thing, that going direct is perfectly fine, is perfectly great. But yeah, it's totally situational. It's about just looking at that situation and going, what is the best way for me to do it here? So, like, I can give you actually an example, because the likelihood is, if my client and I this week go past this particular restaurant again, I will probably ask for the girl's number. But over these days, when we've walked through a certain area in London, there's people standing outside restaurants and they are trying to get you to come in. And every time I've gone by, it just so happened that a second day in a row we went by and the girl actually remembered me, which is wild that someone remembered me even though I hadn't spoken to him. She tried to get me and my client to go in to get food. And I was like, no, I'm sorry, unfortunately, I'm working, but maybe in like another time I would love to come in. And then she remembered me from another day, and then I saw her again for a third time this week, and we almost kind of had like a bit of like a cheeky back and forth, as I'd walked by, and it was just totally indirect. It was nothing like oh, you know what, you're really cute. But because of going indirect each time, not even going straight to, I want to ask you out on a date or anything, or oh, you're really attractive, it's meant that we've built rapport up. And when I go past there again, I am definitely gonna take my chance and ask for a number, because she was really, really attractive. She had an amazing accent. So I'm gonna take that opportunity, if I've got the chance. Oh, I can see my client from Sunday as well. He's just dropped me a message, so I'll be keen to listen to what his outcome was, or how things played out on the day that he had his date with this lovely American lady. So yeah, hopefully that answers that question. But it really is like, there's no right or wrong with it. But it's about just looking at a situation, just applying what you think works best in that. But also, what works best for one person might not work for another, or one strategy for one person might actually be different to the strategy to another person, for them to approach. So but definitely, I mean, all ways work. Definitely every way works. Oh, can have a breather as well. Can have a bit more tea. Although I've been holding this tea, it's been going cold. In fact, I don't know if I answered your other question as well about the outer game thing. Did you give me clarity on that, and or did your message get lost in the flurry of messages from the idiot who was just saying some very, very strange things? I'll give you a chance to message. What's that? Oh wow, it's 11:20. Yeah, the stream has gone on longer than I thought it was going to go for. Yeah, let's just see. Got a message being held for review. Oh, okay, okay. It was your message that something we strangely got covered. Okay, so outer game in the sense of opening, building attraction, sexualization, and closing. Okay, okay, yeah. No, that's cool. I'll click hide on that just in case YouTube weirdly flags it. Another moderator just handled this. No, I'm the only moderator. What is it talking about? So, so what was the question? We've got the hiccups now. What was the question about with the outer game? You might have to remind me. You're in trauma. My crush is a lesbian. So where is trauma? Where is trauma? Just scroll that down. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, what's your outer game structure and how has it evolved over the years? So as in like with going up and speaking to people, how has it evolved? That is a good question. I mean, it certainly went from pickup to doing a much more authentic, natural way of speaking to people. Um, in fact, I'll tell you a story. So, in my very early years of being in the dating industry or being in the pickup industry, and we're talking about the 2012 to 2014 era, I was heavily addicted to pickup. Like I was obsessed with the idea of creating like the perfect approach that would get you like 100% results. And the truth is that it's not real. It's impossible, absolutely impossible. But I got just so addicted to trying to like learn lines and routines and structure and like what to do and stuff and trying to think 50 steps ahead. That actually it caused me to totally backfired for me and I couldn't speak to anyone. So I then had to have a break from anything pickup related to reset my way of thinking and then start putting myself out there. And then when I started working with Johnny in like 2013 and 2014, um, it I was kind of already on this different like wavelength of thinking that, you know what, I think being just really natural and authentic with people would be just better than trying to have like lines and routines. Because another, I suppose, another experience. I'm going to be ricocheting a bit with my story here, but what changed me or changed my way of thinking was I used to date some pretty hot women, and I used to treat them really badly. And it wasn't until like something like out of a scene in a movie. I think I caught myself once in like I was talking badly to a girl I was dating, and I caught myself in the mirror, and I just didn't recognize myself. And I used to just go out and just do loads of approaching on the street, especially after the Darren Brown thing when I had this placebo pill. Well, I really am ricocheting with stories here. But it wasn't until after my grandpa had passed away and I loved him so much that just literally just turned everything 180. Because one of the things that I regretted was that I spent so much time dating women that dating and sleeping with women that I was just treating like absolute garbage and just spending time talking to people that I just really didn't care about. And all I would have wished would have been to have swapped all of that wasted time to have spent like the final days with my grandpa. And that reflection, that self-reflection, it just got me it just changed it for me and it got me thinking like, you know what, I'd rather value my time with people and spend it with people that I care about. And I'd rather be a more self-actualized person of the person that I grew up being, someone who was more altruistic, someone who enjoyed spending time with people, who was charismatic, who and had fun with people, rather than just being this like dickhead guy. And I think that was my awakening. That was the kind of like journey that I went on. That I was like, you know what, I don't want to do pickup anymore. I want to meet people, and you know, what you see is what you get. That and if they like me, great. If they don't like me, that's okay too. And then I kind of then I suppose with how like my approaching is now, you know, it's very much like free flowing. Like I don't plan what I'm going to talk about with people, because I find then that kind of like improv works on my creativity with conversations with people. And you know, to fill you in on a secret, a lot of the jokes and lines and stuff that you've probably heard from all your favorite coaches in London over the years have got their things from me, especially if I've been the one filming them, where we've been walking and then I've said, "Oh, you've got to say this thing to that girl," and then they've done it, and then it's been like great content, and guys have put in comments like, "That's amazing! What a line to say! I'm going to use that and stuff." You know, yeah, I've indirectly influenced a lot of things over the years. Um, but I would say, yeah, my conversations now, I'm very much into this idea of chaos theory, that I don't plan where they go. I like to just be on the spot, in the moment with them, see what happens. I think it works my brain better. It makes me more creative. I have much more unique conversations with people. It allows me then to be more curious and more investigative when I'm speaking to women, as well. And because I bring that bit of humor in, that also works great. And I guess as well, like it also then depends on what kind of mood I'm in. But when you have a lot of social momentum chatting to strangers, you eventually get more into like a sexual mood anyway, especially if you chat to someone who is like absolutely stunning, then you do feel a little bit more turned on, you feel a bit more in the mood. And you know, suddenly when you're speaking to someone, you feel this like electric chemistry, and that sexual tension is just there because you've built up just speaking to strangers. Just even very normal boring conversations will build up your social energy and social momentum to that point that when you speak to someone that you are genuinely, when you are really attracted to them, that electricity will be there. And in fact, with a client, my client on the Sunday, he'd asked me about like how do you build sexual tension with people, and I said, well, it comes down to like four things: eye contact, speed of speech, vocal tonality, and proximity. You know, and guys also think, oh, you have to touch, you have to, you know, you have to, it has to be Kino and stuff, but it doesn't have to be Kino. A lot of people as well, they don't like public displays of affection. They like to be a bit private, but you can create intimacy by, you know, really utilizing those four things. And you can do that in just, you know, any conversation. In fact, I even encourage guys to practice that as well. If they're comfortable with that, I would say they've got to be having conversations and getting phone numbers first, because it's quite, I think for a guy who has a lot of social anxiety, it is a big step for them to take. I wouldn't be encouraging it. Like my client this week, as much as I would love for him to get to that stage, I don't think he'll get there, unless he surprises me. But I mean, at the moment, we're now just like let's just practice conversations. Let's practice actively listening to people, and then asking a question or making a statement about something that the other person has said, and then bringing in like personal experiences as well, and then just sort of taking it from there. But yeah, my conversations with people, I would say, very easygoing, very laid back. I'm hoping in the new year, I will actually have some infields. I caught up with Ed. I don't know if you know Ed, Ed Game, as well. He's got his YouTube channel and stuff. We've been friends for a good few years, and he's also been a client of mine as well. And he's actually offered to do filming for me if we do like a bit of like a swap of service, which I said I'd be more than happy to do. Um, we went and we had well, we didn't have a beer or anything, but we did go have a catch up a couple of weeks ago, and he said yeah, he'd be up for that. So hopefully in the new year you'll actually see me doing approaching, and I also want to go out and do more approaching as well now that I'm now that I'm single again, because I was dating a Polish girl for about 6, 7 months, and that has now sort of like come to an end. So you find when you're busy working with people, and if you're having sex regularly, um, you don't feel the urge to kind of scratch that itch with approaching. So that one's kind of on me. But with how things have been, like it's been absolutely fine. I've been so focused on work and stuff. But yeah, in the new year, I'm going to be going out approaching way more. And also, yeah, hopefully I'll have more content as well so I can show people because I do think really in this industry you have to have footage. You have to have that infield content to just show people what your style is like. And then I hope guys can resonate with that. And then, and touch wood, that also helps my business grow even more. But yeah, everything that I do, it's about, working on the technicalities of cold approaching and being able to have conversations with people. I'm almost not too fussed or too worried about the dating side because um, there's such a simple uh, difference between just having a conversation with people to trying to ask people out. And I get people, don't get me wrong, like I get guys to, give compliments and ask for phone numbers and get dates and stuff. Because essentially that's what I think like 99% of guys are doing cold approaching for. And I'd love to work with women as well, help women go out and socialize. But the skill of cold approaching is just so good. I think it's just great to be able to for anyone to do as like a rite of passage to build their confidence and accelerate that confidence. Um, there was something else there I was going to say um, with the cold approaching. Um, no, it's gone out of my head. There was something else there that I was going to add. But yeah, but no, I think just being able to cold approach is great, and yeah, for me, it's really more about just having a much more natural approach to things, not worrying about being too pushy. Oh yeah, that was it. So yeah, so there's a different like two differences between just a normal interaction to doing it for dating, and that is just simply going up to someone to give them a compliment, and also asking for their phone number to take them on a date. If you don't have those two things in an interaction, then all you are doing is just having a great conversation with someone. And that's as simple as just adding in or taking away like two or three sentences. So it's amazing how fine line there is of like if you can get a guy to have the confidence or develop that confidence to go up to a stranger on his own, strike a conversation, then that's already like the biggest hurdle because being able to then just give someone a compliment and ask for their details so you can take them out on a date, that's the easy bit. The problem is guys don't practice the conversation part, and because they're not mentally preparing themselves or dealing with their social anxiety, they're going into approaches with so much anxiety, so much like outcome dependency, or worried about whether they're going to get rejected, whether they're going to get that fear of success or failure, or even the fear of unknown. They don't even know what's going to happen. They worry about all these things and they just set themselves up for failure. And part of what I do, I tend to bring in a lot of stoicism. Like I'm a really big advocate of stoicism. And then I get people to just kind of let go of these things, not worry about them, play devil's advocate and challenge them. Well, why are you worrying about that? What's worrying about the outcome going to do? Just worry about being present, actively listen to what she says, and just enjoy that moment and enjoy it for what it is. If you get a number, great. If you don't, that's great too. And it's just really teaching people to be okay with that. So I am bringing more self development into pickup. I think, unfortunately, the years of pickup for people have made them a bit too strategic. They overthink too much, and I think that hinders them at getting better results. So yeah, I kind of teach people to unlearn these things, be a bit more normal, be a bit more of an actual normal human being, rather than being overly too calculated with approaching. I think it's good still to have an understanding and of like the definitions and how attraction works and stuff, but at the end of the day, everyone is very different. Every woman you meet is very different. You can't expect them to, all react in the same way as much as, you might like or one would hope for them to. But yeah, hopefully that kind of makes sense though, Cypher. So Ishan put, I got an exam today of organic chemistry. I woke up at 4 a.m. and I still don't revise now. And still I don't revise now. Hey, we've all been there, my friend. I remember hating studying for exams in school. Hated. Absolutely hated. But hey, if it gets you a good job, a good career, then it's worth doing, my friend. Just find enjoyment in it. Believe it or not, that's kind of a crazy thing to say. I don't want to enjoy an exam, but if you can learn to enjoy an exam or enjoy the content for it, uh, you'll get far, my friend. You really will. Um, what's the time? But it's 20 to 12. Right, I think I'm going to probably wrap it there. I've kind of spoken about everything I wanted to, and as it is getting a bit late as well. But what I will do is I will, before I properly wrap up, I will put a post out with the new services, with the prices and stuff, and the offer. So at least then it's there for people to see, and yeah, and hopefully I'll hear from you guys over the next 7 days, because that will be the window of opportunity to claim those discounts. And definitely, if you want to make those changes in the new year, for 2026, if you want to have a better dating life or make friends and stuff, then absolutely, I cannot wait to hear from you, and hopefully we can work together. So we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. I'll do the typical spiel of, like, subscribe if you can, and then hopefully we can be on more live streams together. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it there, and I'm gonna decide if I'm gonna watch one more episode of Stranger Things as well. I've spent this entire month playing catch up, and I watched episode 1 of season 5 just before I did the stream, and yeah, I'm kind of tempted to watch a second one. So I will chat to you guys soon.